Hello, dear viewers. Tarot Mom here for your daily reading. I always ask you to choose the stone that draws you, the one that really resonates for you, the one your gut suggests you pick, and we'll begin. I'll do a golden nugget card at the end for further clarification for your reading if you'd like it. And we'll start with this beautiful agate. And let's see what today brings. The Chariot. Oh my, two major arcana. The Chariot, the Lover's card, the Three of Swords. Okay, very interesting here. Well, something is pulling you forward, you and perhaps someone else, if you're in a relationship, pulling you both forward. And you're going with it, although it might feel like you have sort of competing ideas about it, or you're not exactly 100% on the same page, but generally. So it might be a little bit rocky. It might be a stressful time actually for you, where you're maybe not always hearing good things from the other person or saying good things. There may be more conflict, or more disappointment. See, sometimes when our lives are going forward so fast and it feels a little out of control, that's when we look to our partner and man, we want them to be exactly on the same page, right? We want them to be doing what they need to be doing, because there's no room for anybody to be not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Like there's no room, there's no time, there's no resources, there's no energy, there's no, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, we both have to be on the same page. We're moving forward. It's going so fast. And that is when couples fight more. With the Three of Swords, that is when couples feel very frequently more disappointed with each other. And a lot of times it's really not about their relationship. It's about the stress. They're just both doing so much, but they really are moving forward in the same way. They just of course are two individuals, and each of them see things a little bit differently. These two sphinxes are kind of turned out. So I think sometimes we can choose the way we think about that. We don't have to have painful thoughts about that are sort of repeating like, oh, this again, oh, this again. We can look at it in a different way too. We can look at it in a more loving way too. So that's very interesting. Very interesting. For those of you who are not in a relationship, this Chariot moving forward could have to do with getting you into a place where if you want a relationship, then you're in a good spot for it, because the Three of Swords is sort of like disappointments, like maybe you haven't found the right person. Or maybe you have painful thoughts about the possibility of finding the right person, or about yourself. And the Chariot is a situation that's moving you forward. And I think if you really want that, relationship, Source is trying to say right now it might be a Chariot time in your life, and that's a good thing for getting you to the right place for that, or the right mindset for that, or something like that. Sometimes Chariots are unwelcome. There's something that just kind of dropped in the middle of our lives, and they can be something that affects a lot of people, not just us, but Chariot moment for a society, a community, a family. But it seems unwelcome, and it sure is bringing us somewhere new. I think that if you're wondering about relationship stuff, you're being brought to a place where there's more positive possibilities of that. So that's good. Yeah, once in a while that Lover's card is really about being in the Garden of Eden, the love of the angels, the love of Source. Once in a while it's about that. And the Chariot could be wanting to bring you to a place where you experience that more. You're walking in that. You're living that more instead of having painful thoughts. Okay, for those of you who chose this black obsidian, we have the the 6 of Wands, the 10 of Swords, the Ace of Coins. Okay, now the 10 of Swords can be the Martyr card. So maybe some of you have been sacrificing a little too much for your well-being for a financial opportunity, but yet you're rewarded for it. You know, there's a victory there and you're lauded for it. So for some of you at work, you've been sacrificing a little too much, and it's actually gotten you down. And the 10 is a completion. It's sort of like, okay, that's done. You know, I'm done with that. Some of you push yourself real hard to get a new opportunity at work, and it looks like it worked. Some of you some of you have had trouble, and this doesn't necessarily have to do with work, with people saying things about you or to you that are painful, and you're kind of done with that, and that's your victory. Like, I'm done with that. Because you somehow, there's some security offered where you can be done with that. You can walk away from that. So very interesting group of cards there. But Swords is definitely helping you out, and you're definitely doing, you know, you've got a victory here in something. But these are minor arcana. There is no major arcana here. So I could be making too big a deal out of these cards too in these readings. It may just be that you've been sacrificing yourself a little too much recently to be done with that. Like, yay, I'm done with that. You know, and now I can take care of my health better. Coins can be health. So, you know, it could be something like that too. But interesting group of cards. Good group of cards. For those of you who chose this sort of clear crystal, we have the moon, the sun and the moon, the sun, the moon, and the stars. Well, we don't have the star card, but we have the sun and the moon and the 5 of Swords. How interesting. Oh, for goodness sakes. Well, okay, for some of you, your intuition is very strong and it is wanting to bring you to a place of joy, or maybe there's something happening that will really sort of bring in much more positive kind of view. The 5 of Swords can be a victory where you do cut something away, and whatever that may be, your intuition could be strong in telling you to do that. The sun is enjoyment, is joy, is sometimes approval, like the sun is shining upon you. So that can be a meaning of these cards. These cards also can be about, you know, this can be about a child and joy with that. Your intuition being quite strong. And this can also be about, you know, somebody who wants to argue or who wants to win. Yeah, very interesting. But your intuition will know what to do with that, because your intuition's quite strong with that moon card. And that might be a really good thing, because sometimes I feel like the moon comes up when we have to go by our intuition because things aren't all that clear. You are supposed to still enjoy yourself, though, I think, with this sun card. Interesting set of cards. Very interesting. Wow. Powerful energy there, though. Very powerful energy there. Good energy. Okay, for those of you who would like a little further clarification with the golden nugget, we have the Ace of Swords. I'm sorry, guys, this sometimes moves. The Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands is an opportunity given. It's sort of like sources handing you a want to, handing you a goal, handing you an idea, handing you something you might feel enthusiastic about, or just an opportunity. And you might just pick it up and do the next thing. You know, because the Ace of Wands can turn into the Page of Wands, right? Where okay, I'll do that. You know, it doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Could be, but a lot of times it's just sort of a little bit of energy and enthusiasm for a certain goal. So that's nice. I like it when we get cards like that in the end, because it's sort of like, If our question is, what should we do? Well, Source will give you an idea to do something today. And, it's not that you have to solve all your problems at once. You can just do what you're to do today. All right. Well, I thank you so very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.